Hello, Darren Steen here, your Mercola.com healthy lifestyle coach, talking to you today about the 5 reasons why eating protein helps you lose body fat. Reason number 1 is when you consume protein in every meal, it leaves you feeling full. When you have protein in every meal, it boosts your body's sensitivity to leptin. And what this means is when your body is desensitized to leptin, when you don't include protein in your diet, that tells your brain that you're not full and it's impossible to stop eating. And so including protein resensitizes your body to leptin. Very important. It's a hormone and it definitely helps you not to overeat. So it's easy to control your eating. Reason number 2 is it increases, the protein has a higher thermic effect than carbohydrates and fat. Thermic effect simply means how many calories does my body use to burn the food that I'm eating. It takes about 20% of the calories in protein to digest that protein. And that leads me to another thing. When you're eating food, allow your body, portion control number 1 is chew slower. When you chew slower, you're going to eat less and you're going to be able to realize when you're full. And number 2, when you chew slower, your digestive enzymes are mainly in your mouth, and so they're going to be allowed to work better because the food stays in your mouth longer. So that's going to further the effect of the thermic effect from protein. And the thermic effect for carbohydrates and fat are quite a bit less. So that's an important reason, number 2. Number 3 is it's the food that our ancestors grew up on. And thousands of years ago, when we didn't have all the processed food around, our ancestors, they ate meat. Only 4,000 to 5,000 years ago did man start to actually grow carbohydrates and process them. And this isn't the food that our bodies were designed to consume. So it's more natural food for us to eat. Reason number 4 is when we consume protein in every meal, it helps stabilize our blood sugar levels and it stabilizes our insulin levels. When you eat a meal that just has carbohydrates in it, and worse yet, processed carbohydrates, your blood sugar and your insulin spikes up very fast. That causes havoc on all different levels, but it stores body fat at the level that we're talking about right here. Reason number 5 is when you consume protein in every meal, you are able to have more muscle in the future. Protein is made up of amino acids. When our body breaks down protein, it's broken down in amino acids. Amino acids are what our muscles are made of. So when you're working out, and I'm assuming most of you are that are watching this video, or just from the daily stresses of our hectic lifestyle, our body is getting broken down. It's getting broken down even further when we work out. A lot of people think when we work out, they feel the muscle swell up and enlarge, and it's called the pump. But that's not building the muscle up. It's actually just blood going into the muscle. When you're working out, we're actually tearing the muscle fibers down, little tiny controlled micro tears. So when you consume protein in every meal, that protein is broken down into amino acids, and those amino acids help repair back that muscle. And carrying more muscle in the future is a very important part of your fat loss game, because the more muscle you carry, the more calories your body burns, because that muscle demands energy to sit there and survive, and it raises your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. So those are the 5 reasons that you absolutely must include protein in every meal that you eat. And now the 2 questions that we get often is how much? Well, let's make sure that we get one thing straight. You need to work on eating every 3 to 3.5 hours as quickly as you can. It's very, very important. Small meals often is the number 1 rule if you want to eat to gain muscle and to lose fat. So, but the question is how many grams of protein? I don't want to go by the day. I'm assuming that you're going to start eating meals every 3.5 hours. On the low end, we got a low, medium, and high. On the low end, let's go with 20 grams. Medium, let's go 30 grams of protein. On the high end, 40 grams of protein in every meal every 3.5 hours, 3.5 hours. On the low end would be someone who's around 100 to 120 pounds, working out moderate or not working out at all. If you're working out intensely, you can up that amount a little bit to maybe 25. In the middle would be a body weight range of around 140 to 150. If you're working out medium or not working out at all, let's keep it around 30 grams of protein. If you work out intensely, you're tearing down the muscle fibers even more, and so you need a little bit more protein, maybe 35. Let's go on the high end, 40 pounds for 170 to 200 pound and up. Medium workout intensity or no working out at all, 40 grams is just about right. If you're working out intensely, you might want to raise that to 45, maybe even 50 grams of protein every meal. So that's how much. Sources, let's go chicken, let's go lean red meats, eggs, fish. The sources of those proteins need to come from grass-fed animals, and the eggs need to be from free range. We're talking about a little bit of a higher end protein source than what you get at your local grocery store. Even organic at the local grocery store and Walmart, it's getting watered down. It's really a misused or abused product right now because people know it's a buzzword and there's so much talk about it. But let's face it, if someone's selling organic food from you for a major chain like Walmart, they're having to ship it in. So they're doing maybe slightly better than our regular food at the grocery store, but they're still taking shortcuts. Your best bet absolutely is to go to a Whole Foods, Trader Joe's type place, or better yet, go to your local farmer's market when springtime comes around. Talk to your local farmers, see how they're raising their food. They're not producing it for the masses. They're not worried about quantity. They're definitely focused on quality, and that's what we're looking for. Make sure that your animals that you're eating are raised from grass-fed. In a grass-fed situation, they're able to walk out in the field. They're able to pick their own food, and they're able to eat it. They're not in a small coop, and there's not a lot of them in a small space, and they're not injected with steroids and hormones just to keep them alive. That's what some of your local farmers can do when they're raising the food the right way. Plus, your local farmers don't have to preserve the food because it's so close to you, and that's a big benefit as well. Fish is another area of source of protein that traditionally has been taught to us to be good. It's great in healthy fats, omega-3s, omega-6s, but our Mother Earth is getting more polluted, and the water that the fish are in is becoming more polluted with toxins and metals. And so the bigger the fish, the more of that environment that fish is in the water is in the flesh of the fish. So stay away from the bigger fish, the tunas and stuff. Let's go with smaller fish. That's why krill oil is better for us than regular fish oil, because the krill are smaller animals and they hold less of the toxins, the metals in the oils that's extracted from the smaller fish. And go with not farm-raised fish, but go with wild fish. Maybe Alaskan caught fish would be a better bet. And the last source that I want to talk about is whey protein. Whey protein is a great source of amino acids. It's not quite as good as real food that's raised the right way, but it's a great second best. And make sure that your whey protein is from a source from grass-fed cows, and that's where they get the whey from. Make sure that it's organic from grass-fed cows. The whey protein that I use is Miracle Whey. It's Dr. Mercola's last whey protein that he's created. And the thing I like about working with Mercola Dr. Mercola is I see him flying out, searching out the sources of the ingredients in these products. And I saw him go out to California and talk to the people that produce the whey for this product to make sure the animals are grass-fed, to make sure it's processed the right way, not really, really hot processing. It's cold filtered so that the positive ingredients in the whey are not destroyed by the intense heat. So that's the whey protein that I use. I highly suggest that you throw it in the mix for you so you got a nice variety of sources of protein. So there you go. There's the 5 reasons why eating protein in every meal helps you lose body fat.